Okay, so let's look at the other parts of the syllabus. We have the Tennessee Board of Regents objectives. I think those are pretty straightforward. You can read through those. The specific course requirements. Now, notice there that it says for college courses, students need to spend an average of 3 hours studying outside of class for each credit hour they take. So this course is 3 credit hours. 3 times 3 is 9. So, if you want to get at least a decent grade, you want to spend at least 9 hours outside of, the time that you would spend studying, like kind of participating in class stuff, absorbing the class material. You want to spend 9 hours outside of that actually doing the work, like writing papers, making your discussion responses, writing the summaries and responses, that kind of thing. Okay, you can look at the prerequisites for the course and the co-requisites. Okay, so the attendance policy, of course, it's a little bit different from an attendance policy for an on-site course where you would have to come to class. But really what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see that you've logged in regularly. I'm going to look to see that you have watched the videos I've posted, like on time. If you have, posted the required work, if you've just, gone into the Momentum course, our course in Momentum, and looked at the things you're supposed to have looked at. When I log into Momentum and I look at student activity, I can see which videos you've watched. I can see, kind of how long you've spent looking at these things. So I'm aware of all of that. So just, understand that I can kind of see your activity inside the course. So it's really important that you log in when you're supposed to, you do the work, you turn it in when you're supposed to, you watch the videos when you're supposed to watch them. It's not going to help you if you try to do an assignment if you haven't watched the video regarding the assignment. Okay, so that's my way, by making videos and showing you how to do these things, it's my way of trying to explain to you how to complete an assignment. So it's vital that you watch the videos. And then, if you still have a question after watching the videos, then, feel free to email me for clarification. But that's why I make the videos, so that you can understand how you're supposed to complete an assignment. I can see if you've watched the videos or not, so it's really important for you to do those things. So I kind of take attendance in that way. I look to see, is there a presence? Is there a sign of your presence in our web course in Momentum? And so that's kind of how I look at that. Textbooks. So we have the Prentice Hall Reader, the 11th edition. I don't have that book. I have that book at campus, but I didn't bring it home with me today, so I will kind of explain what it looks like. It's a white book. I mean, at least my version, the teacher version, has a kind of a white cover. So your version might look a little different, but as long as you have the Prentice Hall Reader, the 11th edition, you will be fine. The Prentice Hall Reference Guide, 9th edition, that's a spiral-bound book. And then, as I mentioned before, the videos and handouts that I post on Momentum are also materials we will need to access. Other materials, I talk about how you need access to a dictionary, you need access to a thesaurus. So I don't always think that the thesaurus in Microsoft Word is sufficient. I mean, it's really handy to use, and I use it myself. But I always like to go to another source. Like I actually have like an actual, print, like an actual book, thesaurus that I love to use, because it is going to give me the slight nuances of meaning that exist, the differences in those meanings that exist between words or among different synonyms. So it's really important that you know what a word means before you use it. Like don't just go to the Microsoft Word thesaurus and just plug in any old option that it gives you. because it might not carry the exact meaning that you're hoping for. The Rome State Library homepage, we're going to be using the library a lot, and I have the web address there for you in the syllabus. You must have a flash drive, and I say this not because I'm going to come to your house and check to see that you have a flash drive, but I'm telling you this for your own sanity. Now, I don't think it's smart to rely on just a laptop or a flash drive. I back up everything that I have, everything that I put on a flash drive, I also put it on my laptop, or I have a desktop computer too. But I have it in multiple places, and I keep all of that updated. I keep updated versions on everything, all the work that I've done, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when a computer is going to crash, so you just have to be very careful about that. Of course, everybody has email. I do want you to use the RadarNet email to communicate with me. I do not use Momentum email for communication. And I know that might seem strange given that we're using Momentum, for our course. But the official email of Rome State is in fact RadarNet. That's where you're going to get all of your communication from financial aid, anything that you need to be aware of regarding your attendance at the school. So I prefer to use RadarNet email. Okay. At some point, I will ask you to acquire a folder. You can use a departmental English folder if you want, which you could buy at the bookstore, or you can buy that if you're in Cumberland County at the front desk. If you're in Cumberland County, if you are in Harriman or if you are in Oak Ridge, you can get those at the bookstore. But you don't have to have an English departmental folder. I just kind of always tell students to get those because they're very easy to use. You can use a paper, just a simple basic paper folder with little metal brads or fasteners in them, so you can fasten your papers in your folder. That will work as well. Don't send me plastic ones. You guys will have to send these to me, but don't get the plastic ones because they slide everywhere. Just find a paper one. Right. And hang on to everything that you do in the course. Don't throw anything away until grades have been posted, everything's finished, okay? Because you never know when you will need something. Now, I don't think that will be as much of an issue in this class because we're not dealing with very much paper. We're mostly doing everything electronically. Nevertheless, keep everything. I'm assuming that most of you have access to a computer that you can save documents on and create documents on, so I think that's going to be okay. I think you do need earbuds or headphones because you might need to listen to a video and you don't want to disturb people around you if you're on campus and somewhere where other people are trying to work on their own thing. Okay, grading procedure and grading scale. So if something is listed in the schedule and it says you should have read this or you should have done this by this day or it's due, that means it's due on that day, or you should have done it already before that date, okay? So we will be doing readings from the textbook and readings from the Prentice Hall Reference Guide. Sometimes I will ask you to write a summary of a page or a response to a reading that you have done. I do say in here a response that is not typed or one that's handwritten will receive a 0. I don't know if that so much applies to a web class because I think you guys will be doing everything, word processing everything. But I kind of left that in there because I thought, well, if someone handwrites something and then tries to scan it in and send it to me, I'm not going to accept that. So I only accept, typewritten, word processed work. I do ask that everyone complete his or her own work, okay? So, you might have a friend who's taking this class with you. It's vital that you do your own work and not consult with your friend because you could end up, getting in trouble for plagiarism for that. I want to make sure, I can tell when people have worked with each other too much, too closely, okay? So make sure that you do your own work. Again, RadarNet email and Momentum email are not the same thing. We will be using RadarNet email because that is the official email of Rome State. The only time I would have you use Momentum email is if you were doing peer reviews. You know, if I pair you up with someone else in the class to review that person's paper, then, you know, that person will probably send his or her paper to you using Momentum email. It's just very easy to exchange papers with email or with Momentum email, and that's why I might have you use Momentum email. But if you're going to communicate with me, I want you to use RadarNet, not Momentum. Okay, when you send me an email, make sure that you put something in the subject line, something that actually conveys what the email's about. That's just standard email etiquette. I do not accept assignments or homework turned in by email. Okay, so make sure that, you know, you turn the assignment in the Dropbox when it's supposed to be in there, in the right location, that kind of thing. Okay, I kind of mentioned the composition folder already, that folder that you will turn in at the end of the semester. But you should read through that again because, I mean, you do get a grade for that. Let me pause here and then I will make another video regarding papers and paper format.